Come eat with me as I take you on some of the best restaurants and places to eat and drink in Laramie while showcasing how you can taste the world during the International Flavor Festival. Hey guys, so I am here in Laramie, Wyoming, and it is home of the University of Wyoming and located 70 to 20 feet above sea level. And I'm here with a local and a chef, Deb Ross, who will be taking me around to different restaurants, meeting chefs, restaurant tours, and doing some behind the scenes.
Thank you. I'm so happy to bring Raymond around. I'm very proud of our small university town. This is our 5th year of doing the Flavor Festival in our wonderful downtown. We're proud, very proud of what we have to offer here and our connections to the international community and students that come here from all over the world. Well, the Flavor Festival is a little different like a restaurant week, but each restaurant or business, like a coffee shop or a wine bar, chooses a country based on stories that are created. Some of these stories are talking about a heritage or maybe a travel experience. That's how we connect to these countries from around the world. And then the restaurant creates a special for the whole week based on the story.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see both the restaurant being involved with the community as well to bridge that gap in the stories.
Yeah, it brings us all together. It brings a lot of people downtown.
Yeah, and it always takes place in April every year.
Usually end of March or early April.
What makes Laramie's food scene so special?
I think it's the owners of the restaurants and the chefs. They put a lot of heart and soul into their restaurants. They're there all the time running them, and often they're the ones in the kitchen cooking or baking. So I think that's what makes it special. It's unique in that way.
Hey guys, so we are starting off here at Range Coffee Roasters, and with me here is the owner and master roaster, Kyle.
I started as a hobby roaster on a small little 2-pound coffee roaster about 5 years ago, just in my basement. We have a leather business that Range Coffee is attached to, but grew and created Range Coffee Roasters, and we're here about 1 year after our opening. We've been open for 1 year.
Where do you source your beans?
Yeah, so I mean, we source beans from all over the world, but generally a lot of our beans come from Colombia. For the base of our blends, it's a really good country of origin that we like a lot, and also our single origins. We have single origins from Colombia, Guatemala, Rwanda, different places.
Oh wow, okay. So for the Laramie Flavor Festival, what are you serving?
Yeah, so we're serving our YCA Colombia development lot. It is an anaerobic natural coffee from Colombia, and it's a single origin coffee that I absolutely love. It's one of my favorite coffees. It has, you've tried it too now.
Yeah,
So.
I just tried it. It's absolutely delicious. You can really taste the fruity notes, which is very, very prominent and very good because you normally don't get to taste it that much. I was very surprised. The first sip, I was like, wow, it's so fruity.
Yes, absolutely, and that's a single origin. We actually have some of that. We have different blends that we serve, but the single origins that we have, we really try to make them very fruit forward, because I think, again, it's that explanation that coffee is a seed of a vibrant fruit, and we've talked a lot about that today here, but that's what we want to showcase in our single origin coffee offerings.
Awesome, thank you so much, and you're giving us a tour of your process here of roasting.
Yeah, absolutely. In coffee roasting, we use a lot of temperature probes and graphs. So I have a graph. This is actually the roast profile of the last roast, the Colombia roast that we did. You have different temperature probes, you have your rate of rise, and all of this is measured by these different temperature probes around that are in the chamber. This is a fluid bed roaster, so there's 2 ways primarily to roast coffee. You have convection and conduction. It's common in cooking, right? You can blow air, hot air at something, or you can conduct it from the side. Traditional drum roasters use conduction, as the beans would go around the drum, gas would hit the drum, and then that temperature and that heat would transfer to the bean to roast it. This is a fluid bed roaster, or it's a Loring roaster, and so you have the combination of conduction of the drum that is in this chamber spinning, and convection, which is air. So air is blowing on that. One of the things it does is it gives you a lot better, more consistency. You can roast that bean. Say this is the bean. As you roast that or bring it to temperature, right, you can get a much more consistent roast on it, and the development of that bean can be consistent all the way through. Because what you don't want is you don't want the outside of the bean cooked to one temperature and the inside underdeveloped, basically still green. So you want a consistent roast through it, and with the combination of air and heat as it touches the side, we get a really great roast and develop a lot of the flavors that you tasted today. So this roaster here, we have a green card weight scale, and so what we would do, here is some green coffee. This one is specifically from Colombia. It's a wash process coffee from the Huila region, and we use this as a blend in a lot of our coffees. But we would take this and we would dump this into here if we were roasting. So coffee goes in there. Then we have a lift on this machine, so when it would suck up into here and be up into the holding chamber above, and then when the machine is charged, which is at the right temperature to start the roast, it would drop from here into the roast and into the drum. And so it would roast, and then this is a cooling tray here. So after this door would open, I can kind of show you the door. So the door would open, and then all of that, and then you would have the mixer start. And so we want to cool that coffee as quickly as possible. So once we take it to the temperature, so this Colombian YCA coffee that we were just talking about was roasted to 416.2 degrees Fahrenheit. And so we want to cool that as quickly as possible. So it dumps out here, the cooling fan turns on, the mixer turns on, and it goes out and cools it as quickly as possible to maintain quality and to get the roast where we would like it.
Hey guys, so I'm here at Mizu Sushi, and I'm here with Travis, who is the owner and the chef, and he's making something special for us.
Mizu was started in 2010, so it's been 16 years.
Wow.
One of the reasons we actually decided to start it in Laramie was because of the university.
Yeah.
That was one of our motivating factors. I did a lot of research, went to a lot of different cities around the country, and we settled. We came back here 3 times, and it always felt like home.
Okay.
And that's why that's part of the reason why we wanted to settle here in Laramie. So I'm gonna do the Alaska roll, Rainbow roll, Queen Caterpillar, and the Cabo San Lucas. So these 4 are basically our most popular rolls. So the Alaska roll is California base with cucumber, crab meat inside, fresh salmon, and lemon. So we start with the nori. Nori has 2 sides. There's a rough side and a shiny side. Rough side is where the rice actually attaches onto. Okay? So we always wet our hands. And then, so the sushi rice itself is a short grain rice. It's a lot stickier, and we also flavor it with vinegar that we cook in-house. Okay? So you make like a tennis ball size. Sesame. The crab meat mix. Cucumber, and then we top with the fresh salmon. So, and our knives are very sharp. There we go. And then the rainbow roll is California based also with crab meat and cucumber with 4 different fishes on top. So usually the 4 fishes is chef's choice with sliced avocado, eel sauce, and masago, which is melt egg. Okay, that's the rainbow roll. The Queen Caterpillar is tempura shrimp inside, crab meat cucumber with scallop. These scallops are from Hokkaido. Fresh ripe avocado on top, and topped with 3 different sauces. So eel sauce, spicy mayo, sriracha, sesame. Okay, there we go. And the final one would be the Cabo San Lucas. So Cabo San Lucas is kind of like a fusion inspired by the namesake, Cabo San Lucas in Mexico. So we have tempura shrimp, fresh tuna, and it's not seared. We will make the sauce also. So this is the cilantro and jalapeno. And then we also have fresh mango, diced mango inside. And then we also have our own house-made sauce. This is a ginger and garlic sauce that we make. Couple sesame. There we go.
So we are here at Sugar Mouse and it's very beautiful here. It kind of feels very whimsical. It kind of feels like you're in a storybook magic kind of fairy tale land.
Yes.
Very beautiful.
Sugar Mouse. You feel like you're stepping into a different world. And this is a must-see when you visit Laramie, Wyoming. You have to come here, take some photos with your friends or family, and get a sweet treat and some tea while you're here.
Yeah, and what we have here is the toasted coconut. They actually have some interesting flavors on top of like the normal flavors like Earl Grey, jasmine and stuff like that. I picked toasted coconut because I rarely see that in tea and I'm very excited to try it. You can actually smell coconut when you smell. What are they doing for the Flavor Festival?
They're going to be doing a cherry bakewell, which is a traditional English little sweet dessert that goes with tea very well. I can't remember what year it was created, but in England there is a town that it's known for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Cheers.
Cheers.
It's really nice. Yeah, very coconutty.
Yep. Delicious.
So we are now here at Altitude. It's a brewery and a chop house. The perfect combination.
I could tell you that they make a lot of different kinds of beer and award-winning.
Yeah, I see medals over there and some interesting beers. So like this one here is the chili ale, which you don't see often. Cheers.
Oh, you really can
yeah,
smell it.
Yeah, that's a
Yep.
nice kick.
Isn't it good?
It's very refreshing with that kick of chili. And they are also on the Flavor Festival.
They're making ceviche this year. So we're looking forward to celebrating the festival with some ceviche.
That's perfect. Hey guys, so I'm here at Alibi and I'm here with one of the owners, Carrie. Alibi has been featured in diners, drive-ins, and dives with Guy Fieri.
We started as a food truck outside in our backyard doing wood fire pizza and just slowly evolved into all the things. So we are a wood fire pizzeria. We do sandwiches, salads, smoke our own meats that go on the pizzas, and we also do breads and pastries.
So you do all the bread and pastries, I see.
Yep.
So how long have you been doing that?
Since like 2016.
Wow.
So we started doing breads and pastries in the wood oven, the mobile wood oven outside, until we got baking equipment.
I noticed as well that you use some heritage grains.
Yep, we like to use emmer, einkorn, spelt wheat, and we fresh mill in-house.
For the Flavor Festival, what are you hoping to do?
We're going to be featuring Jamaica this year, so we're going to have curry goat as one of our entrees. We're going to do a jerk pork, and the third entree is going to be an oxtail stew.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, very traditional.
What, in your opinion, makes Laramie's food scene special?
We're all small restaurants. We're all very small mom and pop restaurants, so it's you get an interesting take on classics like cheeseburgers or pizzas or whatnot. It's all just very us doing what we want to.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Karen.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey guys, so I am here at Sweet Melissa's, and with me here is none other than Sweet Melissa right here.
Well, we opened Sweet Melissa's in 1999. I returned to Wyoming. I grew up here. I came back after about 15 years away and didn't really find any jobs that were working for me, so I thought, let's try a restaurant. Just not really thinking that a vegetarian restaurant was going to be a hit in Wyoming.
Were you always a vegetarian?
Since I was about 10.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
okay.
mostly always, yeah. So we just opened up thinking it was just like something to cross off the list as something to try. And here, 27 years later, we're still here. And we opened up the bar in 2009. The restaurant had gotten busier and busier, and we just needed some more room. And so we owned the building, so unfortunately we kicked out the tenant and put the bar in. And that's been huge. It's been a real great addition to the whole establishment. For the Flavor Fest, we're doing Pakistan this year, and I'm not going to know the Pakistani words for anything, but it's a mustard green curry with a cornmeal fritter, a potato pancake, and rice pudding.
During my dinner here, I got to try one of the previous International Flavor Festival dishes, which was the Egyptian
Koshary.
Koshary.
Yeah.
And it was so good.
That one was really fun, and it's really fun when the dishes are just naturally vegetarian and we don't have to make adjustments or anything.
So how do you normally come up with the vegetarian dishes like that's on this? I was surprised how extensive the menu was, and I'm curious like how you came up with those or the thought process, and how frequently do you change that menu?
We change the menu seasonally, so we do a winter menu and a summer menu. Although probably about 75% of the menu stays the same, and we just do some changes. And you know, the ideas come from everywhere. A lot of my cooks, including Dylan. Dylan used to be a cook, and he's created some dishes for us. And a lot of my cooks have created different dishes for us. Or, you know, we do find meat dishes and take on the challenge of making a vegetarian version of that.
And I remember you were also featured for the Guy Fieri's
right,
diners, drive-ins, and dives.
Yeah.
I always mix up the D's.
Right. We just call it Triple D.
Yeah, that's a good one. Right. So what did Guy Fieri have here?
He had the lentil loaf and mashed potatoes and the banh mi.
Oh, I did try the banh mi as well. That was really.
Yeah.
It was my first time trying the I forget the word.
Seitan?
Yes,
Yeah.
the Seitan.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it reminded me the first time I tasted it. It reminded me of like the gyro, like
meat,
the texture, the
right.
slice, and the flavor was kind of very much like gyro. So
We
it
do.
was really
We
nice.
make a gyro as well.
Yeah, I noticed after. Oh, okay, that's where it came from. So what's next for Sweet Melissa? Or for you?
I don't know.
Are you planning to open like another restaurant?
No. We had a food truck we ran for a couple of years, and we just sold that last year.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. Thanks so much for that. That was hard to try to add that into the mix.
Yeah.
But no, I think that one thing that makes us special is we are just us, you know, and I'm here representing, and it's not just a formulaic sort of a thing.
Yeah.
So we don't have any plans to open up any additional restaurants.
And last question. So what do you think makes Laramie's food scene so special?
I think actually having a lot of international influence is a big, because we have so many people from all different parts of the world in Laramie that most places in Wyoming don't have. So I think that's a big influence. And not having a lot of chain restaurants, I think really helps the local restaurants survive and
I
thrive.
agree. Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
You bet. Thank you.
Thank you. So we are here at Coal Creek Coffee. This is the oldest coffee shop here in Laramie. They started since 1993. They are locally owned and they roast their own beans, and they also make their own pastries.
I know they're expanding their pastry line right now. Everything's from scratch, and they often have talks in the evening, occasionally tying in with the university speakers, and they serve cocktails in the evening.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
yes.
Is it also like using the coffee beans? Like, is it coffee cocktails?
I think some of them are.
Okay. Oh yeah, actually, yeah, I see
Yeah,
it now.
you can
Coffee
see
cocktails.
coffee
Yeah.
cocktails.
Oh, that's
Yep.
cool.
World famous.
What are they doing for the Flavor Festival?
They are doing a Guinness stew and Irish soda bread
Oh wow, that's
based
exciting.
on a story.
Ah, that's exciting. I've been to Ireland, so I have had Irish soda bread made the traditional way. So it's nice to see that it's being made here.
Yes.
The stew sounds amazing too.
I love Irish soda bread, actually. Yeah.
So I am here at Momo House, and as the name implies, they are doing Nepalese cuisine, and for the Flavor Festival, they are representing Nepal with momos, which are Nepalese dumplings. And here they is. These are chicken momos. We got the fried one, and comes with a tomato chutney, homemade. Let's try. That's so good. Hey guys, so I'm here at Bahn's Brewing Company, and I'm here with the owners, Jay and Mallory, and they're gonna tell us all about it.
We kind of started about home brewing probably 10 years ago, and then opened this place in 2019, and grew, from our small system in our garage to this big system that you see here today. It's a 15-barrel brew house. We produce almost 800 barrels a year, and we have a tap room here, one in Buffalo, and we distribute to a few towns throughout the state.
And what are you doing for the Flavor Festival?
Pilsner beer, traditional Pilsner beer.
Representing Austria, right?
Yes.
Have you always basically done brewing, or were you doing something else before the brewery stuff?
Typical 9-to-5 job, say it, corporate sales stuff. So
Okay.
this was just a hobby turned into a business, right?
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And I think you're giving us a tour?
Yes.
Awesome.
This is our 15-barrel brew house. This is what we make all the beer in, of course. Basically, the grain lands into our grist case up here after it's been crushed and stuff like that. And when we're ready to brew, we'll gravity feed it into our mash tun here. And basically, a mash is just warm water mixed in with a bunch of crushed grain, so it's kind of like oatmeal. Anyway, we sit there and spin that for a little bit, and what we're doing is extracting the sugars out of the grain, and that's called wort. Weird names, I know. Germany named all this stuff, so Germans did back in the day. So anyway, get the wort, extract it out of here, and then we'll pump it into our boil kettle here, rinse it with some water, fill this thing up here, the boil kettle, and at that point, this is where you are sanitizing it, and there's kind of a lot of stuff going on here. It's boring, but basically this is where you add your hops for bitterness and whatever else flavorings you want to add. And then after that, we'll pump it through the heat exchanger. Basically it's cooling it down into any one of these fermenters that are also jacketed, temperature controlled for the fermentation. This process here will take about 8 hours that I just explained, and then once you add the yeast eat the sugars, which we extracted through this process, and they just produce ethanol and CO2. Those are the two byproducts, and then they multiply as they eat. And then after about a week to 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks it takes sometimes, you have at that point beer, and then we'll carbonate it, cool it down, and it's ready to drink.
How many beer selections do you normally offer?
Yeah, so anywhere from 12 to 14, sometimes less if we can keep up or whatever, but that's one reason we have a lot of these tanks in here, so we can keep the variety going, right?
I saw some names on the fermentation tanks. Is there a story behind those names?
That's a good question. No, I mean we just kind of like to be goofy around here, so they're either gangsters or hillbillies. So Capone, Tommy, or Billy, so they're just kind of funny names, but there's no real story behind them. No, that's the story. Yeah, so this is where we store some of our kegs and our canned products and stuff like that for distribution. And this is our canning line made by Wild Goose here. Counter pressure technology. We're distribute to about 40 different liquor stores and bars throughout the state. This thing can can 12 or 16 ounces. That's what we have it set up for right now. We mostly do is probably 50-50 now, but maybe a little more 16 ounces than 12s.
Oh, okay.
But this will can about 15 cans a minute, and it's just a can robot. It's pretty technological, has a brain of its own. You hit the go button and it basically just takes off.
Wow.
So it's pretty cool technology. It can be stressful sometimes, but.
And you don't do much bottles?
Yeah, we do some bottles. They're hand filled for seasonals. So mostly barrel aged stuff, but not automatic bottles, no.
Where do you have your beers available?
Laramie, Cheyenne, Casper, Buffalo, Douglas,
Saratoga.
Saratoga.
So now it's time for some beer, and apparently their most popular beer here is the Rhubbery, which is rhubarb and berries. And that's what we have here. I'm getting a flight, and I can't wait to try. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, that's really good. Rhubbery is so good. I can see why it's the most popular.
Yeah, it's my favorite.
So I am here at RailYard Bar and Grill. It is one of the newer restaurants here in downtown Laramie. And for the Flavor Festival, they are doing Italy and serving things like tiramisu, gnocchi, Italian wines, and stuff like that. I'm here to check out some of their usual offerings, and let's check it out. One thing that caught my eye is the duck bacon wonton, so I'm attempting to try one. Hey guys, so I am here at the Crowbar and Grill, and I am with the owner, Tim.
The restaurant was originally founded, I want to say in 2012. It was a little before I came on board. But I started working here in 2014 when I was going to school. And just really kind of fell in love with the concept. I liked the environment. I liked that it didn't have TVs going in there. It was very personal. Seemed to try to do simple things well and emphasize service and freshness and all that.
Yeah.
And for me, food service kind of started in a weird way. I got a random phone call asking if I wanted to join a seasonal restaurant in Southern California because I couldn't find anybody because there was only going to be like 6 weeks left in the season. And ended up going to work for this 5-star resort ranch in Palm Springs with zero experience. Just kind of fell in love. I genuinely think there's a weird honor in being of service.
So what can people expect coming to the Crowbar?
One of the things that's interesting about Laramie is it's a very transitive town because of the student body.
Yeah.
So your workforce is always coming and going. And that's something that's hard to escape. The hope, and I'm going to cheat on this, but I wrote a little blurb. We wanted to create a place where everyone is welcome. Ranchers, students, jocks, nerds, dirtbags, hippies, artists, lawyers, railroaders, scientists, tradesfolk, politicians, and everyone else in between have joined us in our appreciation of craft beer, good cocktails, better food, and all the best kinds of screen-free conversation. The idea is to create a place where everybody is welcome, and you can kind of try to create a personal connection. There's a reason we don't have any screens here, is we want to make sure we're encouraging interaction in a world that's getting increasingly difficult to be able to do that. So, but everyone's safe. I want everyone to be happy here. I want everyone to be welcome here.
And I hear like you're known for like burgers, pizza, and especially I heard a lot about your truffle fries.
Oh, we are known for our burgers. We regionally source all our beef. It's never frozen. We hand make all of our own dough for our pizzas. And everything's kind of a unique spin on things. We take a core concept and play with it a bit. All our fries we make in-house. We try to go as fresh as we can.
Yeah. So are the beef for the burger like Wyoming?
It is all regional. I get most of my beef from northwestern Colorado,
Okay.
Rocky Mountain area. It's still mostly grass-fed. Again, never frozen, butchered locally. I've met the guys that sell me all my cows, so that's pretty cool.
What are you doing for the International Flavor Festival?
This year it was brought to my attention that Bison was an option, and I just glommed down to that idea. So we're going to be doing a Bison burger. I haven't figured out exactly what I want to dress it with, but hopefully we're going to do a unique sauce that also maybe has a little sage and kind of honors that heritage a little bit. We're going to be doing pizza of some kind that's going to feature Bison, and we're also hopefully going to be doing kind of a specialty fry that's grilled Bison. I'm not sure, Tag. I'm doing research at this point, but I know we're going to use every part of the buffalo.
And last, so what do you find makes Laramie's food scene so special?
You know, honestly, that's a question I've asked myself quite a bit. Laramie, I've lived in a number of places in Wyoming. Laramie is kind of uniquely placed culturally because it's right in the middle of ranch territory. So you've got a very, very strong rural population, some very kind of grassroots folks. But you also have the university. It's only a 4-year university. So you also get this kind of swing of the pendulum to education and more kind of younger, progressive-leaning population. It's all transitory. It's constantly shifting. But it kind of creates a really fun melting pot for a state. Laramie hits kind of a sweet spot between that rustic, old-school mentality and something a little more progressive, a little more educated, a little more challenging. And I think because of that, it's created a local populace that is more willing to engage with new things than other places in Wyoming would be. So, I mean, I lived in Casper, which has got us beat by population by a factor of 8. And they don't have as much variation in their things that we do. Because people here are more willing to try to give people a chance, to give a concept a chance. And for me, it's just been a sweet spot for the industry and for people. And my wife here and I bought a restaurant. So I guess I'm not going anywhere.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for coming in. I hope you guys have a good night. And here's to the International Flavor Fest.
Yeah, we'll be back to try the special.
All right, I'll try not to disappoint you. Catch you later.
So I am staying at the Hilton Garden Inn, and it is right next to the University of Wyoming, and also around 5 to 6 minute drive to downtown Laramie. So it is very, very convenient. I also love that in the lobby they have a water station, and in the morning there's actually coffee as well, and there's complimentary fitness center as well as swimming pool and whirlpool. I am staying at the king bedroom with whirlpool, and it is a nice modern room. There's a working desk, there's a TV, there's a small seating area, and of course the nice king bed, and the main event, the whirlpool, which is a nice way to relax and unwind after a long day of eating. And that's a wrap with my time here, and I hope this gives you an idea on some of the best restaurants and places to eat and drink in Laramie and how you can taste the world during the International Flavor Festival. In the meantime, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe and watch this next video right here.